Hey, Brad here from 4Player Network. Thank you for supporting, and I give you my top 5 most hated video game covers. Now let me be clear here before we start. I don't think these are the worst video game covers. These are my most hated. And that's why my number 5 is really any Japanese Ratchet Clank cover. And here's why, damn it. I've suffered for years over Kirby covers with, angry eyebrows. In the West, we just get the exact same cover, but there's angry eyebrows instead of happy Kirby. It's angry Kirby who wants to kill stuff. Well, you know what? It goes both ways, and I think Japan fucked up the cover for Ratchet Clank because for some reason, it's like the same fucking Ratchet, but he's got bushy ass eyebrows. These horrible fucking caterpillars on his face, and I don't understand it. They did shit to his eyes. They made him shiny, and then they gave him these giant fucking Eugene Levy eyebrows, and it's weird, man. It's weird, and I hate them all. I hate them all, especially the third Ratchet Clank game. What the fuck is going on there? He looks like a crazy man. Ratchet is not crazy. He's the normal one in that universe. What are you doing, Japan? What are you doing? My number 4 most hated video game cover is much like the previous one. I hate it so much, not just because it's terrible, but because of how much better Japan's is. Look at this cover. What is going on here, man? It's one thing. It's one thing that it's only half of his face, but it's not even straight on. It's not even a straight on down the middle, symmetrical half of his face on the edge of this box. He's just kind of looking off to the side, and then they fucking cut off 63% of it, and that's your fucking cover. One of the ones that almost made my list was the Metal Gear Solid 4 cover because it's just a dumb old man's face. This is the same thing, except it's 43% of a dumb old man's face. What the fuck were they thinking? Now look at some of these Japanese ones. This is the game's the equivalent, the third Yakuza game in Japan. He's just fucking badass Cosmic Hero. You looking up at the sky going, man, who am I gonna fuck up today while I smoke my cigarette? It's so good. It's so good. And some of these others covers from Yakuza in Japan are just fucking iconic. And we get this garbage. It's just so awful. It's just so bad. It's so bad. I hate it so much. Alright, what is this shit? Number 3, Suikoden. Alright, Suikoden. This, I love this game so much. I know a lot of people maybe don't love it as much as me or didn't even play it. But it's probably because you walked into a Funko-Land or a Babbage's or whatever the fuck existed back then and looked at this cover and was like, okay, I'm not playing that. Maybe my grandpa will play this game. What okay, so nothing in the game looks like these people. I mean, I guess they do have more realistic proportions than I guess what Final Fantasy was doing at the time, but what is going on? What is this little 3-headed skeleton monster down at the bottom? I don't think you fought that thing. I don't think you fought that. And then the rest of the people on here, they look like people who belong in a soap opera or something. As the world turns, this is NES quality era box art. And then you look at the Japanese one, and it's so badass. That's what they look like in the game, and this is a cool pose, and it's just so cool. What did they do? What did they do to us? You think maybe if we had this cover back in the day, things would have been different. Maybe this series would have been successful. The Suikoden 2 cover art looked cool, But how you gonna shit the bed on the first entry in a fucking series? I mean, look at this thing. It's so bad. It's so bad. Alright, my number 2 most hated video game box art is Eco. Ico, the minimalistic, beautiful, memorable, one of my favorite games of all time. God damn it, I love Ico. I didn't play this when it came out. Probably because it was stupid little Hornboy Stickman on the cover and some really bad, like, 3D modeled image that isn't even in the game. Like, what is this? Why did they think that Stick Boy and giant ghost lady, half a face in the background, was gonna sell this goddamn game? Ugh. And of course, again, the reason it's so awful. Stupid Stick Boy, Horn Boy, Angry Boy. Oh, look at the Japanese cover. Look at this. This is iconic. This represents the tone of that game. It's big and wonderful, and you're like, oh my god, it's you and Yorda, and you're actually holding hands like you do in the game, and you see the cool environment, and it's just... I mean, just look at it. And look at the American one. Now look at the Japanese one. What the fuck were they thinking? Why? It hurts. Alright. My number one's a doozy. And it's a doozy for lots of reasons. It's multi-layered here. Where the fuck do we start? Okay, first off, what the fuck? This is a greatest hits version of Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, and their idea for the cover was to take a picture of the game box and make that the cover of the game. Why? What were they thinking? This is such a bad idea. Now, if you zoom in a little, what you realize is that even the original cover art sucked, so it's making this doubly bad. And here's all the reasons why I hate the original cover art as well. One, this is a great game. One of my favorite Castlevania games ever, period. It's remarkable. One of the best DS games. Two, look at this fucking art style. This generic ass pandering anime shit in a desperate attempt to like capture some, I don't know, some fucking Nickelodeon watching audience or some shit. It sucks. And it sucks not just because it's generic, but it sucks because this is a direct sequel to Aria of Sorrow, whose cover was amazing. Check this out. Now this is quality cover. This is the prequel. This is the Castlevania art style that they had been using since Symphony of the Night, and then they throw it out the window for this generic anime shit. And then the greatest hits version comes out, and they just take a picture of the box and they make that the cover. It hurts so much for so many reasons. I feel like this was where it started to go downhill for the Castlevania series in terms of sales. It's your fault, Konami. You let this happen. You let this happen and you just threw it all away. Hayami Kojima had beautiful art and you just threw it away. Why? Why did you do this? Hashtag fuck Konami. So that's it. That's my top 5 most hated covers. Sorry things got so dire. If you want to watch my top 5 one-hit wonders that really need a sequel, support us over on Patreon or subscribe on Twitch because that's exclusive for supporters. I hope you enjoyed this one. Have a great day.